Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. How far can we launch a projectile from Earth? By projectile, I mean something that only gains its momentum when it is launched, and does not produce any itself. Our current record for the farthest projectile launched is the metal cap launched by a nuke which went somewhere in outer space at around 240,000 kilometers per hour. However, the explosion that propelled the projectile had only 1.7 kilotons of TNT, and the cap not only weighed a ton, but was welded to the so-called barrel, greatly reducing its potential distance. So what we would have to do is place the projectile not so far from the nuke, so there would be more air pressure in the barrel. Also, make sure to shape the nuke and all its components into a thin disc with maximal surface area in the front to ensure most of the power goes parallel to the barrel. There will still be lots of force going perpendicular, so to prevent the barrel from exploding, make it out of many hundreds of meters of extremely heat-resistant materials such as tantalum carbide. You may also want to make the projectile out of tantalum carbide, because otherwise it would instantly vaporize in the atmosphere. To decrease the air pressure the projectile creates even more, make it in the shape of a thin and round needle. To make sure the projectile stays on course, make it spin at high speeds. To make sure that huge nuclear blast isn't wasted, make the barrel extremely long. Keeping all of this in mind, how far would 1 megaton of TNT take the projectile? Well, if the projectile and nuke were microscopic and weighed around 1-2 micrograms, then the projectile would have an initial velocity at just under the speed of light, where the energy required to achieve speeds becomes almost logarithmic, just like how speed is when it approaches zero. When the projectile goes through the atmosphere, there would be around 29 quadrillion newtons of drag, but this would only slow the projectile down by about 1,000th of a meter per second. So basically, the projectile would just continue going just under the speed of light forever, until it hits any celestial objects. So we could technically get a projectile to go infinitely far, but the cannon required to do so is very impractical to make and probably would not work. See you next time, and bye.